Well, Happy New Year, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great New Year's Day, and I hope that your new year will be a great one. In fact, I hope it'll be a great year for all of us. This year seems to be starting off kind of rough here as a Cowboy fan, where there's so many unknowns. I literally said that today, to me, is the doomsday scenario. That there is so much uncertainty for the Dallas Cowboys. We got, of course, as always, about 25 free agents, which does sound like a lot. But then again, the Eagles have 25 as well. And surprisingly, I don't think most people understand that about 35% of almost every team's roster turns over, typically. So this is nothing new. Don't let Stephen Jones confuse you and make you think that we're dealing with things that nobody else has. They are they're dealing with problems of their own creation. I'll just leave it at that. So we have Dak Prescott. Dak is getting in better shape right now. He's beginning to walk around. We'll start riding bicycles and things, and we'll be ready by the time OTAs come here. And he's, of course, not going to have a contract holdout, so he'll be here. And, of course, CeeDee Lamb, who's shut down right now, will be in good shape too. So at least we're beginning to heal some of our key players. Some of our key players that have been injured this year, that have gotten older, probably aren't going to be here next year. Guys that we had circled down and said these are key players, from Zach Martin to D-Law, and I might even say Brandon Cooks. Guys that have been injured through most of the season and aging high-priced talent are going to be retired. It's kind of crazy. Forgive me looking around here. Didn't realize the dog is literally behind me because the wind is howling like crazy. It is like swinging around, and I've made shutters that actually close. And so with these shutters that actually close, one of them pulled the anchor out of the wall because they have these like S pieces that are old historic things that hold them in place, and it pulled the one out that was outside here. So as this wind blows, you hear that tapping, and the dog is just like going crazy, and he's shaking. It's my daughter's dog, so I'm here babysitting. Don't worry, Chai. It's going to be okay. So what we don't realize when we go through and we just say, fire this guy, trade that guy, this guy's a bum, he sucks, he can't take a hit, is we forget that these are people that hurt and have families like you and me. It's easy to go out there and, dock somebody and, try and put them in danger and stuff and wish, bad will and stuff. There's a lot of keyboard warriors out here that can do some real damage and things to people. But be that as it may, we forget that these are actually people that have issues and fear things like everybody else. And what I'll say is, when you think about somebody like Sean Taylor, who had opened up his home to people and all that, and these people cased the place to rob him, came back and robbed him, shot him in the leg, hit an artery, and he died. He died. So you get fearful when you do become famous, and when people do put things out there, or something like a robbery happens, you start thinking about others, especially now that it's not just you. And this is Dak Prescott now. So Dak Prescott is addressing, I don't know if anybody heard, that his fiancée, who is pregnant with their second child, in her car, it was broken into, and some jewelry was taken, and a couple of, several designer purses, somewhere in the room of $50,000. Although $50,000 for Dak Prescott right now is chump change, and it's probably not so much the money as it is, was this targeted? Is it the fear of it? Every time I go to my car, am I going to be carjacked and stuff? He addressed this. I've always understood who I was or where I was, especially being a quarterback of this team and the target I am. whether it's for robbery or for whether it's for losing a game, and somebody, whatever. I understand the position I'm in. For me, it's more about today and now protecting my fiance and my daughter, and dare I say, your future child as well. And that's a scary thing. I'm going to be real with you because I've had some people that have kind of stalked me, as some of y'all know, out here that have tried to do things, putting out my information and things like that, putting out my loved ones, from my parents and things like that, putting their information out. They're not brave enough to do anything, but you don't know if somebody is mentally stable, will believe some of the things that they hear and go after you. It's kind of crazy out here right now. And you see something that happened like New Orleans, that somebody literally decided to take their truck into a crowd of people celebrating the new year, coming out with allegedly with guns and everything else to literally just kill people. You realize you have to watch your back, and you don't want to be living behind bars and security and everything else to make sure you protect yourself. But at some point, you have to kind of start to worry about that. Going into this a little deeper, I'm sorry I'm a little winded today with this. Quarterback Dak Prescott and his fiancee having nearly $50,000 worth of goods stolen from her car recently. I don't want anyone to tie that in with other things that have been happening. Her car got broken into at a Pilates in Dallas. Who knows how many times that happens a day? Several stars, professional athletes, including Luka, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow, have had their homes recently burglarized. Dak says, as far as the other burglaries, I'm going to take every step necessary so I can ensure safety and that doesn't happen to me. So I'm going to say, this is the type of situation that if you don't have a gun, that will make you go out and get a gun or employ somebody who will be there with guns. So you might want to think twice before going after that. Yeah. Sad, but let's say don't leave a lot of valuables in your car. Definitely don't leave a lot of valuables in your car, and be careful where you park. This is where, you can't be trusting to everybody. Oh boy. This is the quiet, before the storm, y'all. It's going to get crazy as soon as that game is over with the the Commanders. All hell is going to break loose on whether Mike McCarthy is staying or going. It's going to get crazy. Have a good day, good people. Peace.